Sebastian Vettel drops major retirement hint after losing out to Lewis Hamilton in China. Vettel has come under mounting pressure at Ferrari because he has not been able to end their 12-year championship drought. The German is yet to finish on the podium this season. Lewis Hamilton will start tomorrow's Chinese Grand Prix from second place, behind teammate Valtteri Bottas. Vettel will be just behind the Brit in third, but after qualifying he was quizzed on his future in F1. Former head honcho Bernie Ecclestone revealed earlier this week that he feels four-time world champion Vettel will retire next year. He won't change teams, he will end his career with Ferrari, Ecclestone said. And I think not much is needed for that to happen. Sebastian has a happy family life and does not want Formula One to put him out of balance. And Vettel hinted it could come to fruition. "I don't know at the moment," he said. "I am not going to be in Formula One as long as Bernie was, that's for sure. But I hope I am going to be as fit and sharp as he is today when I am 88. Vettel still feels he is able to challenge Hamilton at the front of the grid. "I feel on top of my game. I am very self-critical and very ambitious. I put a lot of expectation on myself," he added. "I love driving, I love the sensation of speed, and I love fighting these guys. There are a lot of things I like at the moment and things I would miss, so that is why it is not an option to quit tomorrow. But the contract is just a piece of paper. We will see what happens." Next news: Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas disagree over Ferrari ahead of Chinese Grand Prix. The world champion admits Mercedes are behind their rivals when it comes to engine performance, but insists there are a number of factors which come into play when trying to win a race. His teammate Bottas thinks it will be hard for Mercedes to close the gap on Ferrari and their engine performance, though. "It's impressive to see," Hamilton explained. He added, "It just means that we are challenging other areas to try and pull more from the car. But my confidence and our focus and our attention has not wavered, and I'm still very confident that we can extract more on weekends. It's not just about straight line speed, it's about cornering, performance, reliability, the mechanical side, how you approach a weekend, all these sorts of things." Bottas is unsure whether Mercedes can bridge the gap to Ferrari though in the immediate future. He warned, "Making 4/10 in pure power of the engine is very difficult to gain over one season. It's a track with very long straights, and straight line power and speed is really important here. We know Ferrari are going to be strong, and hopefully we have our strengths in other places." Hamilton added, "Closing that gap on the straight speed is not something you'll see close up particularly quickly. The Chinese Grand Prix takes place from 7:10 MBST on Sunday. Last year's race was won by Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. And that will give Max Verstappen hope ahead of this season's Grand Prix as he looks to challenge Hamilton for the title." Next news: Oliver Rowland makes Williams' admission and hits F1 with two key criticisms exclusive. Rowland is currently racing for Nissan E-Dams in Formula E, securing his first pole position and podium finish last time out in Sanya. The 26-year-old was a junior driver for the Williams F1 team last season as the Grove-based outfit endured a torrid campaign, finishing last in the Constructors' Championship with just 7 points. Things are even worse in 2019 with both George Russell and Robert Kubica considerably off the pace due to a lack of funds, meaning poor winter development. Speaking exclusively to Express Sport about Williams' plight, Rowland said, "Last year was tough for them. Obviously I am very grateful to them, they gave me my first official test in F1. I really enjoyed working with them. But it's the whole structure of F1 that is a problem. For a team like Williams, the budget that the big teams are spending, and now you've got these almost B teams that are taking cars from the big manufacturers, it's really difficult for them, Williams, to manufacture everything and keep up with the growing costs. Their budget is such a fraction of the others, then unfortunately in previous seasons they have had to take money over talent, and it's been a spiral of events. It's sad to see, but hopefully they can have a plan and find a way to turn it around. Roland's comments are a reference to the signing of Lance Stroll in 2017 and Sergei Sirotkin a year later, with both drivers bringing significant financial backing to the cash-strapped team. Williams have taken a different approach this season with Russell and Kubica, although both men are hampered by the car's woeful performance. Roland was a late addition to the Nissan E.Dams team in October last year, stepping in after Alexander Albon was released to drive for Toro Rosso. And the Barnsley-born ace has impressed with his pace and is currently 8 points and a single place ahead of experienced teammate Sebastian Vettel in the drivers' standings. Roland is convinced he is in the right series for his long-term plans, saying, "The way Formula E is going, and the way F1 is going, it's clear that one's on the up and one's in a bit of a lull." Sometimes the racing is good, in F1, but other times it's not, and F1 is quite political. Formula E I'm really enjoying, where we go to all these cities while the racing, the level of driving, the equal nature of all the cars, for a racing driver that wants to show their ability, it's a perfect place. So from my side there's no other focus other than Formula E, and I plan to be here a long time. Next news, Formula E news, Rome Pre talking points, Bird vs Verne, Ferrari fans root for Massa. Will the streak continue? Season 5 has continued to deliver the unpredictable, intense, wheel-to-wheel action the series has become famous for. There have been 6 different drivers from 6 different nations and 6 different teams claiming victory in the opening 6 races, while there have also been 6 different pole sitters. The championship is still wide open, so the Rome Pre could throw up an unprecedented 7th different winner, a feat which would match F1's winning streak from 2012. The top 2 drivers in the standings are just a point apart, while spots 3 to 9 are covered by just 13 points. But can anyone break away from the pack this weekend? Brit Bird to bounce back. Britain's Sam Bird will be hoping to bounce back from his disappointment in China last time out, when the envisioned Virgin Racing driver was forced to retire on lap 1, a result which saw Bird drop from 1st to 4th in the Drivers' Championship. However, Rome has been a happy hunting ground for Bird, who won here last year, and the 32-year-old could take the top of the drivers' standings with a positive result. Champ Verne returns after winning in Sanu. Formula E champion Jean-Eric Verne's drought is over after Verne's victory in China ended 3 races without a point, his worst ever run since joining the all-electric championship, and it moved the DST Cheetah driver to 3rd in the drivers' standings, just 8 points behind leader Antonio Felix da Costa. Formula E drivers to take on Totti and CO. It won't just be action on the track in Rome, as Italian football legend Francesco Totti captains an AS Roma Legends team in a one-off charity match against Formula E drivers including former semi-pro footballer Bird and Felipe Massa. The match will see 12 Formula E drivers put their rivalry aside, for 90 minutes at least, as they unite in support of 2 Rome charities against a Roma team which also includes Bruno Conti and Simone Perrotta. Will the pressure boil over? With 15 retirements in the last 2 races, crashes and a lot of wheel-to-wheel action, tempers have been flaring on and off the Formula E track this season. The post-race press conference in Senna saw about who was to blame for their collision with Sebastian Vettel on the final lap of the race. And the argument continued onto social media, with the Grassi bemoaning the lack of punishment for frictions, before the Dutchman hit back by mocking the Brazilian's misspelling of his name. The pressure for points is also mounting for some teams, with Panasonic Jaguar Racing parting ways with Season 1 champion Nelson Piquet Jr. after a terrible first half of the season, replacing him with Britain's Alex Lynn. Massive turnout expected for Massa just 12 months after watching the Rome Prix as a visitor to the race. Motorsport legend Massa will be taking to the streets of Rome again, but this time in the Gen 2 car. Having spent 8 seasons in F1 with Ferrari, the Brazilian is seen as an adopted Italian and will be cheered on by an estimated 35,000 fans on the Rome street circuit. The Venturi driver has found the switch to Formula E tough and sits 15th in the Drivers' Championship with just 15 points, behind his teammate Eduardo Mortara, who claimed the team's maiden race win in Hong Kong. Can the former F1 man get to grips with the driving style of Formula E and impress his huge Italian fan base on Saturday? Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.